In today's video, we are going to give you the 7 things you need to get started with alpacas. Hello and welcome to KYC News. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. So, the first thing you must obtain began with alpacas is land. Based on the internet and everyone in general is able to 5 alpacas maximum on a nice day, a square mile. Now let's define what a good acre is. Does it have lush, thriving grass? The ability to graze. Isn't it good to be aware of your acreage? Of mud that won't go over very well, so if you have subpar grass or you are aware of the limited leaf growth you can probably have up on the ground. A mere 3 per acre, and you won't even need as a complement. Adding extra hay will also help. You need is fence, so we have this really straightforward. We built a 3-rail fence for our alpacas. You can test fences without using electricity. There is no need for anything outlandish. The fence's principal purpose is to prevent other animals rather than keeping them in, as I would claim. They won't attempt to flee and leap the barricade. You are aware that these are not goats. Know the prey animals. They therefore prefer to feel in a fence, which brings up another issue. Regarding fencing, it's advantageous to have numerous entrances as far into the pasture as we can. 3 immediately from 8-foot wide openings. The exterior, then we have the entry into the meadow away out of the barn. Then after that, there is a small portion separation. A break so we can maintain them contained within the 2-barn farm will depend on breed, gender, and the how many alpacas should you get and when. Regarding the quantity of alpacas, because they are herd animals, when they are by themselves, they struggle. Thus, you should never purchase a single alpaca. They'll feel terrible. They'll experience health issues and may pass away too soon. Consequently, the number that has a prescription for us and one that we frequently hear is 3. The justification is that if you obtain 2 and 1 from them falls ill and you learn that they pass away if you do it too soon, you're stuck with 1. And you have to sort of scramble to locate 1 more to add. God is known if you begin with 3. Do not let the worst scenario occur and one of them goes away. They are still accompanied by others, still capable of joining a herd, so they ought to be able to do so. Thrive in such manner while you look for them. The third friend you wish to have is that both men and females are maintained. Since those boys are bad, keep your far concerning the girls, and they'll keep attempting to mate. And the ladies don't like that. Additionally, you want to confirm that they further distinct, but also that they're fences so that they cannot contact each other. They are powerless due of their noses, because that'll only aggravate the boys, go little insane, and do no good for everyone. Thus there are 2 distinct kinds of alpacas. Huacayas are the largest, plump ones, and the ones that have the most cerise dreadlocks that are almost hanging down. Basically no changes in health. The difference between the 2 is almost genetic. What they possess various fur species, or they have various types of fiber. We've discovered that folks for the majority favor the Huacayas. Their fiber is more manageable. So everything kind of revolves around what you favor to view. The first alpacas we purchased from a breeder who made a point of, so our first 3 gals were from Suris. And the final 2 we received were Huacayas, so everything is up to personal preference. Now the third, a barn or shelter, and the following shelter is needed. Alpacas thrive in a wide variety of surroundings. You can identify them with South American highlands. Specifically, they are capable of handling the cold, adapt to the heat, so they only require a 3-sided shelter that serves its purpose well. Moreover, you will require approximately 40 square for each alpaca. We are 5, and our shelter is 10 by 20. The size is 200 square feet. Everything goes flawlessly before the others. Something you desire is someplace where they can be contained, because we'll be talking later about medication. They become frightened incredibly readily, so having some is beneficial. A location where they can't flee from you, because if you want to learn, they will. Way we built more information. Our refuge has a vast array of videos. With that focus, we also have a brand new video where we discuss the types of the bedding we have here. Check that out without a doubt. I'll put the links both here and in the summary below. Next comes number 4, food, hay, and water. We currently have food, hay, and water. Our diet for them consists of a variety of small granules. They merely receive 1 cup of this, perhaps. Each day. Don't give them too much, please, because they find it difficult to digest. It's primary. If you want to get nutrition, eat grass and hay. It's there in the pasture. Consequently, this combines 2 different types, including textured pellets and normal pellets, and they are avid admirers of this mocha. Our smallest, as you can see, they enjoy hay a lot. Consequently, another intriguing aspect of alpacas, only the bottom set of teeth are present, and their palate is hard on top, making it ideal for they hold the grass before breaking it, so they won't tear. Tuck it down at the bottom. The turf, they chop it up so that we haven't cut the grass around here in a few months. They really do a great job of minimizing the grass so that the hay can grow. We get is referred to as second cut hay. So when farmers grow hay, and the first cut is generally alpacas perform best and are the least nourishing. We obtain ours with second cut hay from Vermont, which is a few states to our north, because they prefer that, but they won't eat it. The local goods extremely spoiled women over here, so they essentially have access. Whenever they want to the hay, there is a small hay feeder outside that we created, and yes, aside from that, they complement they receive of that with the grass, a small amount of grain in the morning. Consequently, we have these hanging buckets that they possess a flat back, so the studs are where they rest. And all these tiny hangers do is provide them plenty of fresh water every day. That's pretty much it. Number 5, dealing with poop. So alpacas, like everybody else, poop, and they poop all the time, and so you want to make sure you keep this nice and clean, especially in the barn. And it's really easy to take care of. We just get this little black garden shovel. I think we've got a garden rake we got at Walmart, just a couple bucks, and this old shovel we have laying around, and you pick it up. Mocha was just woe. So alpaca manure is a great soil amendment, so we always pick it up. We throw it in a bucket, and then we have a pile out back, and we've used it in all of our gardens, and it's done a great job giving a little fertilizer, a little amendment to our soil. It's not hot manure, so you can put it directly on your plants, directly in your soil. You don't need to have it compost or anything like that. You can even do things like let it soak in water, and then you have what they call alpaca tea, and you can spray that. We haven't done that, but lots of people do, so you know that's one of the things that you can use to kind of help the. So we just keep it. Poop. Number 6, shearing teeth and toes. So the next thing that comes up is shearing. They need to get shorn once a year so that they don't have, their big winter coats over summer when it gets really hot. So you'll want to make sure you line up a shearer, because a lot of times they book months and months in advance, so you want to make sure you're on their schedule. And while they're shearing, they'll also check their teeth and their toes to see if they need to get cut. They actually get their teeth filed so that they're not sticking out too far from their face, and their teeth, their toes just need to get clipped, just like any kind of other toenails, to make sure that they can walk nice and straight. So something we might go into more detail about in a future video is what to do with the fiber after the fact, but you can do some googling in your area and look for fiber mills. Alpaca fiber is a really in demand fiber because it's so nice and soft and fluffy. So there's a fiber mill near us that would purchase the raw fiber directly from us, and we didn't have to pay anything to get it done, and that basically comped the cost of the shearing, so that worked out pretty nicely. And we also got Macy, our gray wakaya. We got her fiber processed with a little bit of Linda, the white one there, and we were able to sell that yarn for 15 bucks per skein, and that was actually what I wouldn't say it was a profit, but it certainly helped offset the cost. And number 7, the least favorite of everybody, medication. So the last and least fun part of owning alpacas is the medication. So in areas where you have white, and we're back in areas where you have white-tailed deer, they can give something called meningeal worm to slugs, and then slugs will go into your pasture and leave trails, and then the alpacas can pick it up. I'm not 100% sure of exactly how they get it, but I know that if they get meningeal worm, it's almost an assurance that they will pass away. It's really bad. It's a really insidious disease, and alpacas are very stoic animals, so they do not show signs of stress when they're having problems, when they're having medical issues. So it's really important that you have a plan to proactively keep them vaccinated from it, or I don't think vaccinate is the right word, but so you use either ivermectin or Dectomax, and there's a lot of debate online. I'm not going to get into it about which is better, but they always say you want to give it to them at least every 30 days, so we're on a 28-day cycle, so basically every 4 weeks they get shots. The amount that they get is based on their weight, and just that way you make sure they're always on cycle, and they hopefully don't get this terrible disease. I'll link some resources down in the description below that give some more information on that. And also, one of the things that we'll mention at the end, there's a lot of really good Facebook groups out there for alpaca owners that have all types of resources. Do your research. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can leave them below in the comments, where you can find us on Instagram at Old Reading Farm. Feel free to DM us if you have any questions. We're very happy to help. We would also highly suggest that you go check out some groups on Facebook. There's lots of information out there. Do your research, and I'm sure you'll have a great time. They're great animals, they're fun to have, and they're very nice. Thank you very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. Please give this video a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you think, and as always, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.